My friends, it's day 675 of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and tonight multiple unidentified flying objects hit the military facilities in Belgorod, Russia. Yesterday, Russian missile strike on the Ukrainian civilian infrastructure hitting maternity hospitals, houses and kindergartens unleashed the rightful payback from the forces of karma. It's a known fact that multiple Russian long-range missile systems are concentrated in the Russian Belgorod Oblast, and they are frequently used to strike civilians in Ukraine, apparently, which is why this strike took place in this region. The Russian air defense is fully responsible for several casualties among the Russian population because they shouldn't have shot down the incoming missiles and drones over the residential areas, and generally speaking, they shouldn't have invaded Ukraine on the first place. Just to remind you, the invasion started when the Russian troops crossed the Ukrainian border 2 years ago, taking full responsibility as invaders for all the consequences. And today, after the numerous acts of genocide against the Ukrainian population and more than 100,000 registered war crimes committed by the Russian invaders, any military operation against the terrorist Russian regime is considered just and rightful. I'm really sorry, us, the Ukrainians, we want to leave, and we have absolutely no time to wait until the Russians complete their invasion of Ukraine. The chief of the Russian fleet wrote a letter to the local administration of the Russian city of Novocherkassk, calling to prepare the morning event to honor the Russian terrorists eliminated on board of the big landing ship Novocherkassk. It is mentioned in the letter that 74 Russian terrorists died and 27 were injured. Russian media also reported the same numbers, but eventually the publications were removed from the internet because back in spring 2022, facing unexpected and incredibly terrifying casualties in Ukraine, the Russian invaders officially classified all the data regarding the Russian losses to prevent panic among the Russian population. It is reported that yesterday 7 Il-76 cargo airplanes landed at Alenia Air Base in Russia, typically used by the Russian strategic aviation, which strikes Ukraine with cruise missiles. Apparently, the cargo airplanes brought more missiles for the Russian aircraft, preparing to strike the Ukrainian civilians around the new year, like they did exactly 1 year ago. And, of course, today I prepared some of the incredible Russian cringe for you, my friends, and this cringe directly addresses the subject of the lethal danger hanging over the Russian propagandists and pro-Russian supporters. Meet Vladimir Ligoida, the Russian propagandist and spokesman for the Russian Orthodox Church, which is known for being a covert representative office for the Russian KGB FSB. The only reason the Russian Orthodox Church survived the Soviet repressions driven by Stalin was because it was full of the Russian spies collecting information every time the people were confessing to them. So, Vladimir Ligoida had a father, Roman Ligoida, a 90-year-old man. Several days ago, this man met Adam Sherbakov, a Russian convict formerly charged with robbery, but later released and recruited by the terrorist group Wagner. Adam Sherbakov told Roman Ligoida that he was a proud veteran of the Russian invasion of Ukraine and asked if the old man could give him a ride home. Roman Ligoida had no idea that Adam Sherbakov ran away from the army and was wanted by the Russian authorities. The old man agreed to give the terrorist a ride, making a fatal mistake because shortly the Wagnerites started demanding money from the old man, and when he refused to give him the money, the Wagnerite grabbed his knife, effectively turning the Russian propagandist Vladimir Ligoida into an orphan. Fun fact, Vladimir Ligoida often justified the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Here, for example, he says that the Russian Church considers war an evil, but justifies the war for protection of people and justice. Unfortunately for Vladimir Ligoida, this war has not been started by the Russian invaders for protection or justice. That's why karma punished this man for his lies, because you don't bullshit the God. He doesn't like it. With that, I wish you all a beautiful day. I'm operator Starsky. As always, be safe.